Hello everybody, hello my besties, hello my hobby, my freedom, my miss you so much. I had a couple of weeks off filming, which you know how much that grates me, because if ever I can't get filming, editing and the upload done, the upload itself takes 3 hours, it really upsets me and I feel like I've lost my little thing that I do that brings me a lot of happiness. So I'm sad about that, but oh my goodness me, the previously mentioned, obviously I think by not talking about this I've actually mentioned it far more because I'm trying to be completely real with life, and this is what I want to do with my YouTube, is just real mum life. By trying not to talk about it, I actually end up being quite confusing to listen to and watch from me watching my videos back, because I have to avoid saying so much. Basically, the tendency that we were in, still in, has become very, very toxic and unhealthy, like mentally, to be involved with. So we knew it was ending, we knew it was just going in roundabouts. So we basically jumped on a new lease. Unfortunately, we have to pay double rent for a little bit, which is obviously the most frustrating feeling in the world, because that money is not spare and it should not be spent on double rent, but sometimes life brings you situations that are completely unavoidable, and so that's where we're at. But basically, in a long-winded way, I'm trying to say the reason why I haven't vlogged in 2 weeks is because we just upped and left. We're still going back, getting a few more bits from the old house, but we've come closer into town. We literally are in a Regency townhouse, which is wild, but we've never lived in this style of property before. We're very much used to like a cottage, a Cotswold cottage feel, with low ceilings, and my dad would call it, what does he call it? Pokey. Pokey staircases, that's what he says. And as in no disrespect to a small house, obviously, like I've just said, like we've only ever lived in that kind of, anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. My point is, we've lived in that style, we love that style, that proper quintessential Cotswold cottage. But now being in this house with really high ceilings, like mouldings, like I think on the ceiling with where the light goes, I think it's called a ceiling rose. So they've all got that, they've got chandeliers, which is great, and it's an experience and it's amazing. Ironically, it's a lot less rental per month, but the space is about 500 extra square foot. So we're happy to be here, and it's lovely, and it's fun to be in a brand new style of property than we're used to. However, once again, it's another temporary rental because this house is actually for sale. So they're hoping to sell it, the owners. So temporary, and it's not something that we would buy. So we will be moving again in probably 6 months or so. But I just wanted to kind of pick up the camera now, say hello, say I've missed you, and update you. Hopefully that wasn't in a very kind of chaotic way that I've updated you, but I fear that it probably is. I also wanted to pick up the camera right now because, see, look, this is the kind of style that we're in. Woo! Because I've put on, whilst I'm like finishing unpacking and cleaning, I've put on Netflix At Home with the Fury season 2. I loved season 1. And I love Molly May, I love Tommy Fury, I love Tyson Fury. Obviously it's a name you've just grown up with, isn't it? It's household name, Tyson Fury. So I've put it on in the background, and honestly I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm in episode 5 when Tyson literally says to Paris, "Stay in your lane." And I honestly am finding this so relatable. I love Paris, I think she's brilliant, and I think she handles everything so well. I mean, 7 kids, that is, that gives me full-blown heebie-jeebies. Sorry about the mess that you can see behind me. There isn't a cupboard. This house is, like I just said, it's big, but it doesn't actually have one cupboard. Putting a hoover or like a long mop. Currently biggest first world problem known to mankind. Tiny violins playing for me all around the world. Hey, but yeah, so as you can see, random bits and bobs behind. That is just the world I'm living in right now. That is just, I think I am a professional homemaker at this point, and I know that sounds arrogant because that's assuming that I create a beautiful home feeling, and I think that is one of the hardest things to achieve, especially in a rental property. However, I put every bit of energy into it, and I feel like I've just unpacked the last box at the old house, and then so yeah. And what annoys me as well, let's just have a big rant. What annoys me as well is Maeve, my husband. Yes, he does the lifting into the new house, but I've done all the packing up and I do all the unpacking. So for me, it's weeks and weeks of work and commitment to the move. Whereas the men, I'm not just talking about Maeve, do kind of 2 days of like heavy lifting. And then they're like, I'm like, but I think that's just a men versus women thing, because women can kind of steadily pace themselves, and also they can compartmentalise and they can multitask, whereas men can do none of those things with the utmost respect. No tea, no shade. I'm not a feminist and all that kind of stuff, but I do think that men have a tendency to really milk it. If they've got, it's called man flu for a reason, right? That kind of thing is what I'm talking about. But the reason why I'm comfortable talking about this kind of thing is because watching At Home with the Furies is absolutely cracking me up. The way Paris and Tyson argue, I'm like, this makes me feel so good. This makes me feel so seen and heard. I don't know what we're going to do in this vlog, to be honest with you, because my entire life right now revolves around unpacking, okay, and settling my 3 girls in, so my 2 spaniels and my toddler. Etta's in nursery today, and she's developed a cold throughout this past week, so throughout this move, and this is going to be hugely TMI, but it is a real candid mum moment. She slept through the night last night. Oh no, she didn't, sorry, no, she hasn't for 2 nights now, so I'm running on 5 hours sleep, which, to be fair, is like, whenever I have 5 hours sleep, I'm always like, you're absolutely fine, because the newborn stage, I remember my goal was always to get to 4 hours full sleep. I was like, 4 hours, conquer that world, babe. But yeah, so I got 5 hours because she woke because of the congestion. And then this morning, bless her heart, and if you guys have kids, you might be able to relate to this, that when she's laying down all night long sleeping, the sofa, I say all night long, sofa, I think she slept for probably 7 hours, then obviously it's sat in her throat, the congestion from her nose, and I am no GP, let's just get that straight, I don't know the terminologies, so it's sat obviously on her chest and in her throat, and then in the morning, when she kind of sits up, I'll give her milk, and whenever she's got a cold, that first proper day of the full-on like impact on her chest, all of that gorgeous thick snot, when I give her milk, she chucks it back up. Literally vommed all over the sofa this morning, all over herself, and I was like, haven't even got the washing under control yet since moving. Obviously, my first and foremost reaction every single day of my life is making sure she is okay, happy and healthy, and she is. I mean, she actually was in an incredible mood after she was sick. She was like, woohoo, weight's been lifted, I feel better. And then we went to nursery. So that's all good. She's actually fine. I just know that it's become habitual that every single time that she has gotten a horrible cold and she's very congested, that morning she kind of chucks up basically all of the build up, and unfortunately the sofa, I'll show you, has been the victim in all of this. So I've just been trying to clean the sofa, and in a minute though we are going to get out, we're going to go into Cheltenham town and we're going to have a little wander, because I need to make sure that I keep brand new injections of information and experiences and fresh air and sunlight and conversation light-hearted small talk. I keep all that fresh, because when you're doing something life-changing like we've just done and then done again, it's easy to get in your head and to feel quite lost, because of course you're without a home. Like, I haven't made this place into a home yet. I'm nearly there, but I haven't yet, and the old place isn't a home. So when you're in that limbo, it's incredibly stressful, especially on a mother. I think you feel the ultimate feeling of failure, that you have not given your cubs a safe den, basically. I don't know if lion cubs live in dens, but you know what I'm trying to say. So we'll go out and have a little wander later, and then I promise we will have a lovely vlog together, and I'm really going to try and make sure that I do not have any more skips and misses of videos, because I just love it too much. I love speaking to you. I love the editing. I love the uploading. I love watching it back. I love it if someone comments. I love it when someone comments. And even more, a couple of people have been like, are you okay? You haven't posted. And that for me is like pure success and happiness and support. So all the good vibes, they're always here. They're always here. Sometimes they get lost, but they're always here. Hello, Whiskey. Whiskey's brought me a loo roll empty. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Off you go. Okay, let's get out. Let's get out in the sun. I was just reading the family app because Etta is in nursery today and her tummy's been a bit iffy for a while now. I obviously mentioned earlier that she was sick, but I knew that was from congestion. But she's had a bit of a funny tummy, and when she was a baby she had an intolerance to dairy. But I read that their intolerances change every 6 months when they're this age. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But therefore I reintroduced dairy when she was kind of like 1.5, so a year ago. And she's been fine. But yeah, she's just had a bit of a funny tummy. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong in terms of like her water in this new house. I always do cool boiled water. I don't give her anything other than that. But I don't know. Anyway, it's a mystery, but it is a very, very classic parenthood worry. I just don't want her to be so uncomfortable. She's the happiest girl in the world, literally. But yeah, she's just going through a few nappies per day, let's just say. But yes, I wanted to say good morning on this beautiful day. We're literally having a mini heat wave. It is so nice, and it's actually the kind of heat wave I love. Like, it's not too hot. It's just all of a sudden we've got like 5 days straight of like really nice temperature. I just would love it to be like this all summer, as in not get to that extreme heat that we get, where I'm like, I have nothing to wear. I can't be bothered to wear some tan, but I also don't want to sit out in the sun for skin damage. But I also don't want to be pale because nobody wants to see me pale. Riley, why are you being all needy? Hello, sweetheart. But yes, I was just about to make something that I'm newly obsessed with, and it is the Hotel Chocolat cold range. I didn't think I would like it just because I'm so fond of that hot chocolate, but I got these purely because they were like 50% off in Hotel Chocolat, the boxes. So I thought, right, well, I'm gonna get them. Not that, that's coffee, which I'm trying not to have. But these ones, it is the cold drinking chocolate, but just the classic flavour. There are loads of different flavours, that's why I'm emphasising on that this is just the classic one. So I'm going to make one of these beautiful sachets of happiness now. And then I thought I would show you a bit of the house and a few things that I've bought for the house, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, I'm really, I think we were meant to be kind of closer into town and civilization than we were before. Like, we thought we wanted that whole Cotswold countryside dream, and we still are in the Cotswolds, don't get me wrong, but we're just further into town. Let me just get the milk. And it is just the small things, like even when I go and walk the dogs in the parks rather than on a field. I feel like previously, if we were walking the dogs, we were in a larger space in a field or whatever, and therefore you kind of don't run into people and come to a close proximity whereby you'd make conversation, right? Not only that, a lot of people in the countryside will choose to have their dogs off the lead, obviously, and so therefore you're kind of trying to keep them separate so there's no argy-bargy. Right, well, I'll give you his number and you can deal with it, because I don't want to be held accountable for... Yeah, I'll send it to you now, you sort it. And second, we have the handyman going to the old house, and it doesn't work for either of us today. So Maeve just wants to postpone it and send that over. Anyway, what was I saying? Going out in the parks here, I just feel like I talk to so many more people and get into so many more conversations, and it's just a real nice existence, really. It's a nicer, more friendly life. I feel like when you're in the sticks, it's beautiful and it has got so many things to love about it. Obviously, it's like that dream, and I feel like even like my favourite movie, The Holiday, has made it into this romanticised end goal, right, is to get that cottage in the countryside. However, I'm here to tell you, you know, all the neighbours are retired for a reason. I feel like when you're my age, I'm 31 and a half, actually I'm nearly 32. When you're kind of slightly younger, don't leave the party so soon, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you're a pensioner, 100%, so nice, so gorgeous, you want that peace and quiet, you want to be secluded, you don't want to see as many people, maybe. But when you're my age, I feel like a lot of people are in a rush to move to the countryside, just more so for the image and to say that you live in the countryside and the Cotswold countryside, not just because it suits you. Like, I think, what's that influencer on YouTube? Josie. She has got this beautiful, like, old rectory house in the kind of northest point of the Cotswolds, and it looks absolutely stunning, don't get me wrong. I think they bought it via Savills. It looks beautiful, beautiful house, and I think she's one of the people who's kind of romanticised this life, and it works for her. But I'm just here to say, break that down and see what works for you, because there are so many of my friends that are like, I just want to move to the Cotswolds, and I'm like, yeah, but think about if you want to be in a village town or kind of that remote farmhouse on an estate, because they're very, very different, and especially when you've got kids involved, you do want to be around more people. Well, I do, at least that's what this latest move has taught me. So I think when we can buy, it will be just slightly out of town like we are now. So we're still in the Cotswolds, we've still got all of the things that we love. Obviously, Soho Farmhouse, Dalesford, I live for it, and I've got no shame in my game in saying that. But yeah, just being closer to school and nursery and the parks I love going to, and the shops, you know, everyone likes a little browse-a-rooney. Here are the goods. Still obsessed with these Nespresso containers for like iced coffees and stuff. Once you put this straw, it's got a stopper on the straw as well, but then once you put it in, oh, that's too far, you've got this, which is like, it just goes straight down, and honestly it's completely leak proof. And there's so many brands that say leak proof, and actually you're lying to me, and I can't handle lies at this stage of the game. I need truths. I need only truths. I went into HomeSense, as I do often, and we don't have much of an outdoor space here. It's kind of a bit of a patio area with gates. It's kind of like a like a runway. But there is already a bench out there. You can't really fit much else in terms of seating. Maybe one more bench, but definitely not like a big dining set like we had previously. So I'm here to be creative with the outdoor area, and actually that's what my next video is going to be, because this weekend my mum is coming and she's amazing at this kind of thing. So we're going to jet wash the whole of the patio space. We need to put up a gate because there's a staircase going down. Loads of baby blue and white hydrangeas, obviously from the summer I turned pretty. Hydrangeas just line the streets of my brain all day long. On that kind of blue and white theme, which actually is completely on trend right now, but I'm just doing it because the woodwork outside is painted blue, so it just works really nicely. But I went to HomeSense and I got one of these bad boys. So for the bench outside, so that's really nice. Matched with a lovely Ralph Lauren cushion, and this just gives me all the Nancy Myers vibes. I mean, the branding is obviously far too loud for a Nancy Myers vibe, but nevertheless, I love Ralph Lauren. I'm sorry, not sorry. So they go together like oil and vinegar. And then also I already had this Dalesford navy blue blanket as well, which once again just goes perfectly. So I've got a nice situation for the bench and the seating area. I've also got a really nice rustic tray for kind of your food or drinks. And yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend to make it into something special. I love me a challenge. I also want to say that I caved. You know how my last video, feels like it was years ago now, was about the doll's house and how I made it, I kind of renovated it myself, because I said that I didn't want to invest in the Mayleg one, the Mayleg mouse house, doll's house. Well, I sold a few things on Vinted and I decided to get the Mayleg one because the other one Etta made into her Tony's character holder. I realised it is totally psychological because I cannot buy a property yet. Whiskey Riley here. No, come here now. Being annoying. I can't buy that permanent home that my baby girl can see as home, and obviously myself, I've never bought a property before, so I would love to be able to do that. Can't yet do it. Obviously we've been over this. Got close a couple of times, and then for one reason or another it didn't happen. Anyway, this rental actually I can see us being in for a long time. It's really great. And then hopefully buy a plot and build, but we'll get to that another time. But so therefore I realised it's really psychological that I want to buy this proper doll's house, Mayleg mouse house for Etta. For me, it's me buying her house. And I realised that I'm like highly emotional about it. And I was like, why are you being so weird? But I thought, no, it's actually deeper than this. It's deep rooted. So let me show you the Mayleg mouse house and how much it is thriving. So, oh my gosh, I just love it so much. So here we go. Here she is. So I've bought a few different things on Vinted. Honestly, like, can't get over. Etta has an Aga in her mouse house. It was £5.50 on Vinted, okay? It's an Aga. It is the dream Aga, and Etta has it in her house. Okay, let it be known. Mama brought home the goods, and her doll's house has an Aga, no less. No, I just really love it. There's also that kind of Thomas Crapper vibe, Lou, which I love. And then, yes, the actual Mayleg products we are gathering slowly but surely, and it is just definitely something that you'd want to collect over time. We don't need to get it all at once, but I did have it all positioned room by room, but Etta obviously has been playing with it, so it needs a zhuzh. But how cute, the little alarm clock and the little baby here, the mum in the bed, the lamp which switches on, the bunting. I just absolutely adore the mouse house. But yeah, this is where we're up to with the living room. I've just put up these shelves, and there was already bumps and bruises to the walls of this house, so I've done filler and just waiting for the landlady to send the paint colour. And before anybody asks, yes, I've had permission to put shelves up and artwork and things like that, and she's thrilled and it's all great and she's lovely and very excited. But yeah, it's a really good vibes. And then we've got the TV up now, which is wonderful. Lovely marble fireplaces in the kitchen and the living room. You can really tell it's got those features of a traditional Georgian, it's kind of on the cusp of Georgian and Regency style. Here I'll actually just show you the outdoor space that I'm working with so you can see what I mean. Can you see? Yeah. So it's not the biggest space, but it's also a really nice little challenge, and I'm also aware that a lot of people have it worse off, and I'm very grateful to have even this space of an outdoor area. It gets a little bit of sun on one of the sides in the morning, but yeah, I can just see us doing little bits of like painting and crafts and stuff all summer long in this outdoor area garden, and there's a barbecue there that my husband has brought, and him doing a bit of a barbecue, and then yeah, just having a nice summer out here. I really think it's going to be, special. Whiskey, come on baby. Whiskey is currently obsessed with piddling in the flower beds because she's not used to, really funny problem to have. Riley I had when I lived in London. Whiskey has only ever lived in like proper countryside, so she's not used to piddling on anything other than grass. So she's like, what do you expect me to do? Like, where's my bottom going to sit as I wee? And I'm like, on the patio, babe. On the patio, get used to it. So I'm just kind of trying to train her to adjust her expectations for wee-wees and poo-poos. On with the tour. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to make this nice. I love exposed brick. And actually, this is probably my favourite part of the whole house, is this wall. So I've put my garden trading mirror there, and then my rustic farmhouse bench and a nice blanket, and obviously books, and just, you know, setting that scene, or at least attempting to. I love this drying rack, and I love that it's a traditional method. So the washing machine is in the bathroom, so I want to put it up on the ceiling here, and therefore I can actually dry things in here because this room gets really, really hot. View isn't anything spectacular, so therefore I've put up a curtain pole and some lovely linen curtains from H&M. It just kind of creates a more ethereal look into this room. New washing basket that I'm in love with from HomeSense, and actually I really want to go and get the baby version so that they sit next to each other nicely. But yeah, this is the bathroom, and I'm showing you this because this is a dream come true, because we didn't have a bath in the old house, so it's been a while, and that's like my favourite thing ever. I always think that's why I've never turned to like smoking and vaping and things like that, because I can get my kind of release and relaxation from a bubble bath. I don't, you know what I mean? So having a bath back in my life and into my daily routine is life-changing. We've got a claw-footed roll top, no less, you know. We're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. Everything happens for a reason. Every curveball takes you to where you're meant to be, and I know for the time being we are meant to be here. We're not meant to be in the old house. Didn't work out. It got very negative, and that's just where we're going to leave it. The fact that my YouTube, which is the most healthiest outlet for me, ended up being held against me is something that I will never get my head around. Anyway, the navy blue bath also inspired a Ralph Lauren theme, because I had this print, had it already, and I had a really nice frame from HomeSense, and I thought actually I just kind of ran with it and put the print in there, and then Etta's big wooden E, and very thrilled with that indeed. And then let me show you Etta's room, and then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to show you my room or any more of the living room or the spare room, just because for safety reasons, like the windows, it's very, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm like doing the correct thing and keeping everyone happy. Etta's room. Our friend Louis has just been, and he's put up this mirror for me and a couple shelves. I've got some clean washing on Etta's bed, which we'll have to pretend is not there. But yeah, this is her Posy and Pen toddler bed, which I've had for a while now, which when my mum comes and stays, it's literally, Etta calls it Nanny's bed, because it's more like where she likes to sleep with Etta when she comes to stay. But eventually it will be Etta's bed. Until that point, she's still in her cot. I'm just airing out the mattress. I do that every day, by the way. Maybe that's a little tip, is I feel like it's easy just to keep the sheet on and change the sheet, but keep the mattress down. but I like to lift up the mattress and really kind of get some air to both sides of it, and make sure I'm doing all that I can to keep her bed area nice and fresh. But yes, we've got a wardrobe space here, her little rocking horse is there. I painted this little tiny chest of drawers. Her view is of a brick wall, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter because the room is really pretty and cute. So I've got the Fiona Walker heads on the wall, which I absolutely adore. They're just such lovely quality. Obviously got bunny, pig, and then the deer. And I really love those. And then I've got her other wardrobe here, which is actually formerly my wardrobe, but I've put it in here because the girls got more clothes than any of us at this point. And then I've done this area on the wall. I don't know if you remember me saying that I got these letters from Love Shack Fancy, Pottery Barn UK, and so now I think they've got a really nice place in here. But yeah, I just love Etta's bedroom beyond words. And then this area is my favourite. It's kind of, let me move the shutter. It's become a little kind of dress up area, and it's got all of her little bags, all these little sticky hooks that I got from Amazon. Louis just put these shells up. I love a scallop detail, so I would love to get some more of those. Fairy, ballerina, all that kind of stuff, and then her little strawberry mirror. I just love Etta's room. Has always been my main priority to make it feel magical, pretty. You feel like you're in a little girl's heaven, you know? Yes, take it all very seriously, this homemaking business. Lord knows I've had practice. Lord knows we have had our fair share of up and a moving. But guys, I'm gonna end this video here. My alarm's going off because I need to go and get my pedicure. It is pedicure season. So yes, I'm gonna go get my pedicure, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. We're gonna transform that back garden space, and it's gonna be really fun and satisfying too. If you did love this video, please do like and subscribe. I've loved spending some time with you, and can't wait to see you next week. See you later. Bye.